Hi students, today we are going to study about an important circuit in the embedded system, that is the reset circuit. So what is the purpose of a reset circuit? So if the system is not working properly, or if the system went to an indefinite loop, or the hardware is not functioning properly, okay, so in that cases we will use this reset circuit to restart the system. Okay, so while we are doing the reset operation, so what are the functions we are doing? We are resetting all the registers inside the processor, okay, all the memory, okay, the RAM, everything will be reset. Okay, so that is the purpose of reset circuit in an embedded system. So the reset circuit is essential, okay, and it will ensure that if the device is not operating at a particular operating level, and the device is not guaranteed to operate during the system power on. Okay, so when we are turning on the system, if the system is not working properly, then it will use what? The reset circuit. Okay, so what are the purposes of this reset circuits? So the reset circuit is a on off switch, like that we can say. So it will provide a particular high signal or low signal to the processor. So using that low signal and high signal, the system will reset based on the type of input that is required for the system to reset. Okay, so first of all we will consider the internal registers. Okay, so internal registers of the microprocessor or microcontroller. Okay, so what are the internal registers? So we have general purpose registers are there. Okay, then accumulator will be there. Okay, then pointers will be there, stack pointer, base pointer, like that, pointers will be there. Then instruction pointer will be there. Okay, flag registers will be there, stack will be there. So okay, so these type of registers need to be reset. What is meant by resetting? All the values inside the registers, or all the bits inside the registers, will be set to 0. Okay, will be made to 0. That is what is called a resetting process. Okay, and next thing is hardware system. Okay, so if we have different types of hardwares connected to the system or the embedded system. Okay, then if we are resetting the system, the firmware will start execution from the beginning itself. Okay, so we have a firmware is the software that we are using, and if you are resetting this system, okay, we already stored some firmware inside the microcontroller. Okay, so when we are resetting, okay, everything will start from the beginning. The firmware will also starts its execution from the beginning of the program. Okay, then it will execute a line by line. Okay, so what are the advantages of this reset circuit is, if there is a hardware problem or a software error, then we can press the reset circuit button and we can begin everything from the beginning. Okay, suppose the software is going to an infinite loop. Okay, so it will be looking like a stuck. Okay, so at that time what we can do, we can simply press the reset button, and through the reset button one signal will be given to the processor or controller, and it will reset. Okay, next point is the reset signal can be either active high or active low. Okay, first of all we have to look into what is active high. Okay, so there are two types of signals in digital electronics. One is active high and active low. So if you want to initiate the reset process, if the processor is accepting a positive side of the pulse, then we can say it as active high. Once again, we are providing a positive pulse for a particular time period, then only the system is resetting, then we can say the signal is active high and the processor is accepting active high signal. Okay, then if you are providing a low signal, okay, lower level of the pulse, okay, then the system will undergo reset operation, then we can say it as active low. Okay, so these are two types of signals that we are giving to the microprocessor or microcontroller in order to make it a reset. Okay, so active high is a positive side of the pulse and active low is the negative side of the pulse. Okay, and it depends entirely on the processor what type of pulse it is accepting in order to reset. Okay, some processor will accept active high signal, some processor will accept active low signal. Okay, and the time period that we are giving this pulse is very important. Okay, so that's why we will press the reset button for a particular 5 seconds or 10 seconds. We will press, then only the system will restart. Okay, if you simply press the restart button, it will not restart. Okay, so that is also to ensure the reset operation is either necessary or not. Okay, so the processor, as we know, it is working in synchronous with the clock signal. Okay, okay, the clock signal will have a particular frequency. Okay, so that's why the reset pulse should be wide enough. What is meant by wide enough? Wide enough means the time period of the reset pulse, either it is active high or active low, the time period by which we are giving this pulse should be enough. Okay, it should be a particular time period. Okay, so in some processors or some microcontrollers, there will be an internal reset circuitry. Okay, so internal reset circuitry is used to detect either hardware error or software problems, and it will reset the circuit. Okay, so there is no need for what, an external reset circuit. Okay, so it already consists of what, a circuit that can be used for working as a reset circuit. Okay, so there is no requirement for what, external circuit. If a reset circuit is not present inside the microprocessor or microcontroller, then we have to go for what, an external circuit. Okay, so in this figure we can see, okay, two types of circuit. Okay, so the purpose of this circuit is to provide what, either an active high signal or an active low signal. So what are the components that we are using in this circuit? So we have a capacitor, then we have a resistor, and mainly we have a freewheeling diode. So this is the freewheeling diode. So what is the purpose of this freewheeling diode? So this freewheeling diode will provide a path for the decay of current, okay, through the load, okay, when it is put off, okay. So it is also known as flyback diode, okay. So this is very important. This freewheeling diode will help to slowly decay of the current, okay. Then if you look into the circuit diagram of the reset circuit, so there are two types. One is a circuit for providing active high, okay. Here we have a VCC, so this pulse is derived from VCC only, okay. Then we have an active low, okay. So here we have a capacitor, okay. So normally what the capacitor will do, it will charge, okay. So when we provide VCC, it will charge to a particular level, and then it will discharge constantly, okay. Then it will discharge constantly. So at that time we will get a high pulse, okay, because the capacitor is connected to the positive terminal here, okay. So this freewheeling diode will help to slowly discharge, okay, because we need this pulse for a uh, long duration, then only this reset process can be initiated, okay. So first it will be charged and it will be discharged, okay. Here the capacitor is connected to the ground, so it will be charging in the negative direction, okay, and then it will be discharging in the negative direction. So we will get an active low pulse. Active low pulse means what? The pulse in the negative direction, okay. So this is the circuitry that we are using for this connection. So what this circuit actually does, when we press this switch, so what happens, this is this capacitor will get charged, and when it complete charging, it will discharge here, discharge through this R reset. So this is a circuit for uh, active low, okay, because here reset bar is there. Reset bar means active low, okay. Then we will get an active low signal, okay. So the main purpose of this reset circuit is to overcome software or hardware errors, okay. So how it can overcome? So when a software error occurs, it will reset, or when a hardware error occurs, it will reset. If the reset circuit is provided internally, it will be automatically initiated. If it is provided externally, manually we have to initiate the reset process, okay. So this is all about the reset circuit. So thank you for listening to this lecture. So if you have any doubts, you can contact me, okay.